So welcome back to Basic Microeconomics. So for this week, we will be discussing about elasticities. So before we go to the different types of elasticities related to demand and supply, let's first get to know what is elasticity. So when we say an item is elastic, so it means that it has the ability to adapt to any changes. So when we say its elasticity is a price elasticity, so we will be able to determine how it able to react or how it adapts or how it responds to the changes in the price. So if we say price elasticity of demand, so we're trying to figure out what is the reaction of the demand in response to price. So how elastic is the demand in response to the price. But there are several other types of elasticity. So just for an example, when we say price elasticity of demand, so atong gi-measure kung unsa man ang reaction sa demand because of the changes sa prices. Okay, so for the first one, as I have mentioned already, we have the price elasticity of. So first off, we have the price elasticity of demand. So it is the measure of the responsiveness of the demand for a product to changes in its own price. So here we measure the extent of the reaction of the demand in response to the movements or changes in the price. So the general formula is percentage change in quantity demanded over the percentage change in price. So there are two ways on how to compute this one. So the first method is the economics method or the midpoint method, and the second one is the statistics method or the point method. So the only basic difference for these two formulas is that the first formula for midpoint, it uses the average of the first quantity demanded and the first quantity demanded and the second quantity demanded and the price 1 and the price 2. So it gets the average of the quantity demanded and the price when they are used in the formula. Looking at the point method, we only use the first quantity demanded or the price 1 as its denominator. So wala siya gi-average. So looking at the numerator, we simply get the difference between the quantity demanded 1 and the quantity demanded 2. And the same with the price, you have the difference between the price 1 and the price 2. The same goes with the point method. So they're just basically the same. So again, ang difference lang nila is on the denominator. Ang sa midpoint, nakuha siya sa midpoint or sa average. Sa point method, gigamit lang niya tong base na demand or ang demand 1 and gigamit po niya ang base nga price or ang price 1. So for the illustration that I'm going to present in the next slides, I am using here the point method. So simply the denominator is our base in quantity demanded and the base in price. So whenever we compute the price elasticity of demand, so we will not be surprised if the answer that we will obtain bears a negative sign. So negative yung sign because the price and the quantity demanded usually vary inversely with each other. So if you can recall in our lesson in demand and supply, so diba as the price increases, the quantity demanded will decrease. And when the price decreases, the quantity demanded will increase. So kay opposite man ilahang reaction or ilang direction. So that's why it is normal that we will obtain a negative answer when we compute for the price elasticity of demand. So when we try to interpret or evaluate the elasticity, usually we ignore the sign. Kay normal naman siya nga negative, so whatever will be the amount, negative naman gina siya. But when we evaluate, we get the absolute value. So how do we interpret the elasticities that we will compute or we will be able to compute? So we refer to this index. So if the elasticity that we computed is 0, so that means it is perfectly inelastic. So kung 0 yung answer, meaning ang price, even if there are movements in the price, wala siya effect in the demand. So this is inelastic. So when we say inelastic na siya, so wala kayo siya mi stretch. So kani kay perfectly man nga inelastic, so wa gyud siya mo stretch, wala siya maapektuhan sa price. If the value is under 1, so this is inelastic. So price has only a small effect. Na siya effect pero dili kaayo dako. So the percentage change in price is larger than the percentage change in demand. Nga bisan pa og dako ang gisaka sa presyo, ang iyahang demand wala kaayo mairog. If ang answer is exactly 1, it's called as unitary elastic. So it means that the percentage change in price and the percentage change in demand are the same. So remember, gihapon nga, di ba, lahi gyud sila og sign. So whenever there's an increase in the price, maubos ang demand. So maubos ang price, mo increase ang demand. If the answer is over 1, it means it is elastic. So that means that the demand is very sensitive to the price. So even if there's a small change in price, dako siyang effect sa demand. And we have, pag ang answer kay infinity, it's perfectly elastic. So an infinite amount is demanded at one price, but nothing at all at a slightly higher price. Okay, so let us illustrate how we determine if it is perfectly inelastic, unitary elastic, elastic, or perfectly elastic. So for example, the uh, price elasticity of demand we have computed is -1. Okay, remember we will get the absolute value. So this would be equivalent to 1. So we look at the index here. So since the answer is exactly 1, so this is unitary elastic. What if the price elasticity of demand is -41? So we will look at the absolute amount again. So we will be looking at the 0.41. So 0.41 is under 1 or less than 1. So meaning this is inelastic. So what if the price elasticity of demand is 1.5? So get the absolute amount. So this is 1.5. So since this is greater than 1 or over 1, so therefore this is elastic. Okay, so we will determine if this is greater than 1, less than 1 based on the absolute amount, and we disregard the negative sign. So example problem. A product sells for 100 pesos per unit and the demand at that price is 10,000 units per week. The firm increases its price to 110 each and sales fall to 8,000 units per week. So what is the price elasticity of demand and what effect will the price rise have on the firm's revenue? So again, for this example, we're going to use the point method. Okay, so here we have the value. So at price 1 or the base nato nga price is 100 and the price 2 is 110. Our quantity for price 1 is 10,000 and our quantity for price 2 is 8,000. So let's compute by substituting that in the uh, formula. So the percentage change in price, we have 10 over 100. So that's coming from 110, which is our uh, price 2. This is our price 2 minus our price 1. So our percentage change in price, that's equal to the price 2 minus price 1 over price 1. So as we have computed earlier, this is 10 and this is 100. So our change in price is 10%. Then for our quantity, so we have the change in quantity demanded is 2,000. So that's the difference between the um, quantity demanded 2 and quantity demanded 1. So therefore, our percentage change in quantity demanded is equivalent to quantity demanded 2 minus quantity demanded 1 over quantity demanded 1. And this is our change in quantity demanded, and this is the quantity demanded 1. So we will get negative 20%. So now, let's apply that to the formula. So that's negative 20 over positive 10. So we will get negative 2. Again, we get the absolute value. So we get the absolute value of 2. That's 2. So therefore, that's greater than 1. So that's elastic. So on the same problem, we have the second question. So what effect will the price rise have on the firm's revenue? So our sales revenue, before the change in the price, we have original selling price of 10 with the original quantity of 10,000. So we have 1 million. But there was a change in the price. It became 110. However, our sales fell to 8,000. So our revenue becomes 880. So what effect? Um, what was the effect of the rise in the price? So the revenue has fallen. So remember that if the demand for a good or service is price elastic, an increase in price will decrease both sales and sales revenue. But if you cut the price or you reduce the price, it will increase the sales and the revenue. So what are the determinants of the price elasticity of? We have first the ability of close substitutes. So the more substitutes that are available, the more elastic is the demand for a good. So the demand for a class of goods, for example, a soft drink, is usually more inelastic than the demand for a specific brand of a good. So a firm may try to differentiate their product to make the demand more inelastic. So second, we have the proportion of income spent on the goods. So when the expenditures on the product are relatively small portion of a budget, the demand is relatively more elastic. For example, if a product such as salt is very inexpensive or very cheap, so consumers are relatively indifferent about a price increase. So when we say indifferent, wala kayo sila reaction whether mo barato kaayo siya or mo mahal po siya kaayo. Parehas na siya reaction, indifferent, similar lang. Therefore, salt has a low price elasticity of demand. So cars are expensive, and a 10% increase in the price of a car may make the difference whether people will choose to buy the car or not. Therefore, cars have a higher price elasticity. Next, we have the time available to adapt. So the longer that consumers or buyers have to make adjustments in their behavior, the more elastic the demand is likely to be. Price elasticity of demand is greater if you study the effect of a price increase over a period of 2 years rather than 1 week. So over a longer period of that of time, people have more time to adjust to a price change. For example, if the price of gasoline increases considerably, buyers may not decrease their consumption much after 1 week. However, after 2 years, they have the ability to move closer to work or school, arrange carpools, use public transportation, or buy a more fuel efficient car. We have the degree of necessity. The greater the necessity for a good, the lower the elasticity. Consumers will attempt to buy necessary products, like for example, critical medications, regardless of the price. Luxury products, on the other hand, tend to have greater elasticity. However, some goods that initially have a low degree of necessity are habit forming and can become necessities for consumers, for example, coffee or cigarettes. Next, we have the breadth of definition of a good. So the broader the definition of a good, the lower the elasticity. For example, potato chips have a relatively high elasticity of demand because many substitutes are available. But food in general would have an extremely low price elasticity of demand because no substitutes exist. Then we have brand loyalty. So an attachment to a certain product, either out of tradition or because of proprietary barriers, can override sensitivity to price changes, resulting in a more inelastic demand. So here are the reactions on the firm's revenue when there are price increases or price decreases relative to the elasticity of the good. So an elastic demand will mean that when the price increases, the demand will fall by a greater percentage than the price increased. So since elastic man kay siya, so ang iyahang reaction would be greater in terms of demand whenever there are movements or changes in the price. And this means that there would be a fall on the revenue. An elastic demand will mean that when the price falls, so kung bali, mobos ang price, the demand will increase by a great percentage than the price decreased. So, grabe sad pod ang reaction sa demand. So, kung maubos ang presyo, grabe sad kasaka ang iyahang demand. And this will mean an increase in revenue. If it is an inelastic demand, this will mean that when the price increases, musaka ang price, the demand will fall naturally, but since it's inelastic, small percentage lang. And this means an increase still in revenue. An inelastic demand will mean that when the price falls, so kumubos ang price, the demand will increase. Of course, naturally, opposite man sila, but since inelastic, small percentage lang. And the effect would be a fall in revenue. If it is unit elastic, so unit price elastic, and there's an increase in our price, total revenue does not change. If the elasticity again is unitary elastic and there's a decrease in price, the same would be the effect. Total revenue does not change. So up next is the income elasticity of demand. Kindly check out the separate video lesson for this topic. See you! If you like this video, please don't forget to click subscribe and hit the notification bell to be updated with the latest video lessons. Thank you for watching!